It is too hot and I really didn't want to switch the oven on, but I also really wanted to eat this cake, so as usual, greed won. Hi everyone, it's Tash and welcome to another Wednesday recipe video. And today we are going to be making a luscious flourless pistachio cake. Timestamps are down below in the description if you want to skip the initial blah blah, but stick around if you want to hear a little bit about what we're making first. Apologies for any extra noise, I am filming with the windows open because it is hot and I don't have a proper microphone. If any lovely microphone company would like to sponsor me, then that would be amazing. I'm literally just working with my phone here, but we're going to persevere and I'm going to hope that the person that's constantly using their power washer outside doesn't switch it on for the next, I don't know, 30 minutes, because I'm really excited to make this cake and it is going to be delicious. It is flourless, so yes, it is potentially gluten-free, and I say potentially because one of the ingredients that we're going to use in this usually doesn't have any gluten or wheat in it, but you do need to check the ingredient label just in case for allergens. And that ingredient is pistachio cream. Not only that, but we're going to also use ground pure pistachios as well as the pistachio cream in the cake. So this cake is going to be very pistachio-y, and I'm going to cover it in pistachios too. In fact, this is actually a flourless pistachio and white chocolate cake. The ingredients are super simple. The main ingredients are eggs, butter, white chocolate, pistachio cream and pistachios. 5 ingredients, that's pretty much it. So with all that said, let's go to the kitchen and see how it's done. First, let's preheat our oven to 180 degrees C, and I apologise for any faint background noises. We've got all the windows open because it is hot and we need air desperately, so maybe a little bit of drilling going on in the background. Now here I have a pan of barely simmering water, just a little bit of water, and I'm going to set on it a bowl of 150 grams of unsalted butter, making sure the bottom of the water doesn't touch the bottom of the bowl because we don't want our chocolate to burn in a minute. So to our butter, I'm going to add 100 grams of white chocolate. You can see it's bending because my kitchen and my room is already quite warm. And make sure you use good quality white chocolate. We're dealing with pistachios today, which are not cheap already, so might as well use some good quality chocolate and make this a really, really special dessert. Once it gets going, do give it a bit of a stir because we want to incorporate the butter and white chocolate together. And we're done. Isn't that gorgeous? Right, I've already switched the heat off because once it's nearly melted, all you need is the residual heat. I'm now going to take this completely off the heat and let it cool down a little. Now, we need 6 separated eggs. I've done 5 out of 6. Let me show you how to do it. Very easy. Just crack your egg on the bowl, but instead of dumping the whole thing, we're going to carefully open it into a half shell, like this. And then you can either just give it a jiggle like that and the egg white just comes out, or you can cradle it carefully from egg white shell to egg white shell half. This gets rid of the egg white, which we're collecting in a nice big bowl. By the way, we're going to need a big bowl for egg whites. And as for the egg yolks, pop them in a slightly smaller bowl. And we're going to be using both. Now it is important to try not to break the egg yolk when you're doing this because we don't want any fat, any oils from the egg yolk in the egg white because that will hinder it from fluffing up as much as we need to. To be honest, because we're not making a meringue or a souffle, if a tiny little bit gets in, don't worry, it's not a big deal. If you are making meringue and souffle, slightly bigger of a deal, but since we're not making that, don't worry too much, but just try not to get any in it. And now we're going to whisk it up until it forms stiff white peaks, so almost like we are making a meringue. There we go, and if we've done it right, hang on, let's get the extra off of our beaters first. If you've done it right, you can literally hold the bowl upside down and nothing will come out because it will stick to the bowl. Perfect. Now let's take our butter and white chocolate mixture. It's separated a bit, but that is absolutely fine. I'm going to add our egg yolks in. Thanks Seagulls for the commentary. And we're also going to add in 100 grams of ground pistachios. And let's give these all a stir together. Beautiful, but we're not done just yet. We're going to add 400 grams of sweet pistachio cream. This is gorgeous. Higher pistachio content, the better. This one happens to be 30%. Not sponsored, but it is Sainsbury's Taste the Difference one. I think it strikes a good balance between pistachio content, flavour and price point. In fact, I don't know why I'm using this tiny spatula. Let me get a spoon. Now we're cooking with gas. So this is a 300 gram jar, and I happened to find these a little bit on sale. It's one of those things, if you have a loyalty card with the supermarket, you can get some things cheaper. So this one was cheaper using the Nectar card. So of course, because this is just 300 grams, I'm going to need a little bit more. So I measured out 100 grams from my second jar. And we're going to give this a stir together too. Gorgeous, and now you know why I haven't added any extra sugar, because there is plenty of sugar in the white chocolate and in the pistachio cream. So now let's bring back our egg whites. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a scoopful of our egg whites. Let's get that back. And I'm going to roughly mix it in. This is just going to loosen this really thick pistachio mixture. And now I'm going to pour the pistachio mixture into our egg white bowl, because it's the larger bowl and we need some more working space. And now we're going to gently fold these together, keeping in as much air as possible. There we go. We want to stop just when there are no more lumps of egg white left, because we don't want to beat any more air out than necessary. Now here I have a 9-inch round tin, which I have brushed with a little bit of vegetable oil around the sides, and I've lined the bottom with some non-stick baking paper. And I'm just going to pour this straight in. And now I'm going to pop this in the oven to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until it no longer jiggles. Wow, that seagull is loud. Until it no longer jiggles when we give it a shake, so up to 30 minutes in the oven. Phew, that is done. It is very golden brown and very puffy, but it is going to sink a little bit, and that is absolutely normal because we have whipped the egg whites and there's nothing keeping it up, so it will flatten a little bit. That is fine. Now the difficult part, we have to let it cool down. So let's take a break, let it cool down completely. And yes, the cake does have a very slight jiggle in the middle, that is fine. The cake is nice and cool, so let's unmould it. Easily done with a springform pan. And I'm just going to plate it up. So not often I use the big plates for this because I don't often make big cakes. Just going to slide the spatula under there. Thanks to our baking paper, easily done too. And now finally, this part is totally optional, you can just dust it with icing sugar and be done with it, but I'm going to spread even more pistachio cream on. Here I have 100 grams of this stuff, and this is the stage stuff that we use to bake into our cake. And we're going to go ahead and spread it on. And finally, I'm going to sprinkle over 100 grams of whole pistachios, just for a bit of extra crunch. The camera absolutely does not do this beautiful cake justice. Let's dig in. I wish you could smell how pistachio this is. Smell-o-vision. And you can see how moist it is too. Cheers! Uh-oh, this cake is not going to last long. So much pistachio-y goodness. I should think so with the amount of pistachios we put in. Surprisingly, this cake isn't too sweet. The white chocolate and the pistachio cream was perfect. I just want to show you how tender that crumb is. So there you go, flourless pistachio cake. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe video and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday for my next one. Get the full written recipe on my blog tashcakes.com, follow me on Instagram, I'm tashcakes.tastes, and find me on TikTok too. I'm tashcakes there too, but my handle is food in slow motion. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more, give this video a like if you'd like it to help other people find it, comment down below if you'd like me to make anything in particular, and I will see you all next time. Be good, be nice, and have a good week. Don't ask me why there are so many seagulls in London, I honestly don't know.